A pleasant morning to each and every one of you. I am Alexandra Isabella Francesca Pilingal. I am from BSE 22 and I will be having my demonstration teaching. And the subject specialization is English. And also, just a disclaimer, I decided to come up with this type of demonstration teaching since we are all in pandemic and this is the new mode of learning and teaching. So let us open our day with a prayer. Dear God, let us all remember that we are in the most holy presence of God. Dear God, thank you for looking after our school. Thank you that you love each and every one of us here. Help us to learn, play, and share together so that the wonderful world you have made becomes more beautiful every day. Amen. Saint John Baptist de la Salle, pray for us. Live Jesus in our hearts forever. Good morning, class, and thank you for attending today's discussion. And I just want to ask if there is any absent for today. Nobody is absent. Very good, perfect attendance. Now, before anything else, I would like you to write 5 verbs in any piece of paper that you have there. Write 5 verbs, and we will be discussing that later. Yesterday, we have discussed about the references of pronouns. Before we move on to the next topic, let us have a recall of what are the basic part of the sentences. Anyone? That's right. The two basic parts of the sentence are the subject and the predicate. Now, how are the subject and the verb or subject and predicate related to each other? Yes? That's right. The subject may be a noun or pronouns and the predicate may be an adjective, but mostly it is a verb. And the subject is the only one being talked about while the predicate tells the action of the subject. Correct. That is the reason why I asked you about those two is because our discussion for today will be subject and verb agreement and also the different rules that governs it. So for the objectives of today's discussion, the students will be able to clearly define the rules of the subject and verb agreement through this lesson presentation. There will be the students will be able to value properly the importance of subject and verb agreement in an essay writing and also perform accurately the rules of subject and verb agreement through writing a short poem. So for this third objective, this will be done by a group. So let's start. There are 7 rules which govern subject and verb agreement. I will discuss each rule and provide example, and later on, you will be giving your own example. Remember, class, that verbs, unlike nouns, have the S form for the singular and the base form for the plural. So please take a look or please listen to this example. For this S form or the singular form, it would be sings, dances, writes, and eats. While for the plural form, which is basically the base form, it would be like this: sing, dance, write, and eat. So, can anyone give me more example? That's right. For the S form, you've mentioned notices, smells, looks, and repeats. While for the base form or the plural form, it would be notice, smell, look, and repeat. Excellent. Now, we will move on with the lesson regarding the rules of subject-verb agreement or the rules that govern the SV agreement. So let us start with the first rule. For the first rule, we have singular subject takes singular verbs. Plural subject takes plural verbs. So this is the most basic rule since it means singular subject, then singular verbs. Plural subjects, then you have a plural verb. So for the example, we have here the dog chases the cat, and this is in singular form. What makes it a singular form? It has s in here. Remember what I've mentioned earlier for the verb, it has the s form, or it includes s at the ending of each word, and for the plural form, it is still in base form. Can anyone give me more example, or is this example and is this rule clear enough? All right. So for the other example, you've mentioned Bruno Mars attends the Academy Awards. This is in singular form. Don't be confused with the Mars, since it is a name of a person. It is the surname of the artist, and it has nothing to do with the S form. Next one would be Percy and Annabeth are one of the characters in The Lightning Thief. This is in plural form. Remember, when in plural form, you have to consider the base form. That's right. I'm impressed with the examples that you have provided, and I see that everyone is learning, everyone is coping with the discussion. Let us now proceed with our second rule, which is this one. Can anyone read it? That's right. The verb agrees only with its subject. Words between subject and verb do not affect the number of the subject. So for this one, I repeat, the verb agrees only with its subject. And words between subject and verb do not affect the number of the subject. So for this example, the laughter of the firmament of bards and sages dazzles people. Again, the laughter of the firmament of bards and sages dazzles people. Notice that although the intervening words are in plural form, both the subject and verbs are in singular form. Now, I repeat, notice that although the intervening words are in plural form, both the subject and the verb are in singular form. Since I've mentioned the rule number 2 is the verb agrees only with its subject, words between subject and verb do not affect the number of the subject. Can anyone give me an example so that I will know if you've understand the second rule? All right. One of the obstacles of self-reliance is conformity. Again, one of the obstacles of self-reliance is conformity. That's right. It is the same with the example I provided. The intervening words are in plural form. Both the subject and the verb are in singular form. That's right. So I hope that you're learning and you can still recall the first two rules. Again, what is the first rule? That's right. Singular subject takes singular verbs, and plural subject takes plural verbs. The second one, the one I'm showing in the screen, is the verb agrees only with its subject. Words between subject and verb do not affect the number of the subject. That's right. We will now be proceeding with the third rule. For the third rule, the words some, all, most, any, or singular when they refer to quantity or a collection taken as one. On the other hand, take note, on the other hand, they are plural when they refer to a number or a collection taken as several times. Again, the words some, all, most, any, or singular when they refer to quantity or a collection taken as one. On the other hand, they are plural when they refer to a number or a collection taken as several times. So I have here this example. Most of the work, take note, work was begun by original thinkers. So this is in quantity form. Most of the work was begun by original thinkers. Next idea or next example would be some of the ideas exposed by Neil were misunderstood. Some of the ideas exposed by Neil were misunderstood. Okay, do you understand the third rule, which is this one, the third rule? Okay, so with that, can anyone give me or provide an example regarding and considering the third rule? Yes, that's right. All of the dish was done by Lucas. All of the dish was done by Lucas. That's right. Any more example? All right. This is in number 4. Any of the students are allowed to participate. Any of the students are allowed to participate. That's right. Very good. I'm very impressed with your performance, and I'm very happy that you are learning with the discussion that we have today. Let's now proceed with the fourth one. A compound subject joined by and takes a plural verb when they referred to as one unit, it takes singular verb. I repeat, a compound subject joined by and takes a plural verb when they referred to as one unit, it takes singular verb. For the example, we have conformity and consistency are two obstacles of self-reliance. So you can see here, this is two separate units because they have different meaning. I'm sorry. So conformity and consistency are two obstacles of self-reliance. So we used here are because it says compound subject takes a plural verb. So this one, the are is considered as a plural since the subject is compound through the word and. The next one would be the writer and the lecturer of great renown was a speaker at Harvard. Remember that was is a singular form and a past tense of is, and the rule this it says that when they refer to as one unit, it takes a singular verb. Okay, again I repeat, rule number 4, a compound subject joined by and takes a plural verb. When they refer to as one unit, it takes a singular verb. Very good, class. Can someone please provide an example so that you can show the class that you have understood the lesson or you have understood the rule number 4? All right. The model and prayer. Prayer? All right. The model and player are going to have a movie together. That's right. The model and the player are two separate units combined as one, making it a compound subject. That's right. And for other example, peanut butter and jelly is her favorite. Peanut butter and jelly is one unit since they all refer to food, like peanut butter and jelly. That's right, one unit. A compound subject joined by and takes a plural verb when they refer to as one unit, it takes a singular verb. Now, class, I want you to watch the clip that I will be playing, and I'm sure that it will help you better understand the concepts or the different rules of the subject and verb agreement.
Subject-verb agreement. Every sentence has a subject and a verb which must be in agreement. Singular verbs agree with singular subjects and plural verbs agree with plural subjects. For example, my mother works at a clinic. Here, mother is a singular subject with works as the singular verb. Another example. They work together at the workshop. Here, they is a plural subject with work as the plural verb. The singular pronouns I and you do not make use of singular verb forms. For example, I sing. You sing. Uncountable nouns take singular verb forms. For example, food gives energy. Two or more subjects joined by and always take a plural verb. For example, you and I are students. The verb had is used with singular as well as plural subjects. For example, Nikki had a fall. They had a problem.
You were able to watch this clip that I presented here, and it discussed different rules that I have also mentioned here. And take note that we have 7 rules in the subject and verb agreement. But for today, I will only be discussing the 4 rules, and you will figure out later why. Okay? All right. I hope that you find the video educational, and I hope that you learn from this video or from this clip. And if you want to study this clip again, I will be sending the copy of this PowerPoint presentation to your school book account. Okay, let's now proceed with the next slide. So after the discussion, we are now going with the application. This is done, or this will be done so that I will be able to know if you have understood the lesson or if you were able to understand, analyze, or if you can describe by yourself the rules of the subject and verb agreement. So for the instruction, group yourselves into 3. Apply what you have learned in the subject and verb agreement discussion, and then you will be composing a short poem of any topic considering the rules discussed. So this will be applied, and this is related to the third objective that I have mentioned earlier. So again, I repeat the instruction. Group yourselves into 3. Apply what you have learned in the subject and verb agreement discussion. Compose a short poem of any topic considering the rules discussed. For this one, I will be grouping you or putting you in the breakout room for 30 minutes, and then you will be presenting it to me what you have made. Or is 30 minutes enough, or just give just no just notify me if you need more time so that I can extend it if possible. Okay, all right. So while doing the application, I want to proceed with the next slide, which is the generalization. So remember, I have discussed the 4 rules of the subject and verb agreement, which is the first rule refers to singular subject takes singular verb, plural subject takes plural verb. And the second one, the second rule, the verb agrees only with its subject. Words between subject and verb do not affect the number of the subject. And the third rule would be the words some, all, most, any are singular when they refer to quantity or a collection taken as one. On the other hand, they are plural when they refer to a number or a collection taken as one or taken as several times rather. And for this one, the fourth rule, a compound subject joined by and takes a plural verb when they refer to as one unit, it takes singular verb. All right. So with the discussion we have done today, I want you guys to remember that singular subjects takes singular verb and plural subjects takes plural verb. The verb agrees only to its subject. Intervening words, take note, okay? Intervening words do not affect the number of the subject. Some, all, most, and any are singular when they refer to a quantity. They are plural when they refer to a number, okay? Singular when they refer to quantity, plural when they refer to number. Excuse me. And the last, a compound subject joined by and takes plural verb. When the compound subject refers to one unit, it takes singular verb. Again, a compound subject joined by and takes plural verb. When the compound subject refers to one unit, it takes singular verb. Okay, and with that, I hope that you have understand the concept of subject and verb agreement. Now, we will be proceeding with the evaluation. Don't worry, this is easy and you'll be able to answer this one correctly. Okay? So I want you guys to pick up or to get a 1/4 sheet of paper, and then I will be reading the questions to you. I will repeat each questions twice, and let's start. For the instruction, if the sentence is grammatically correct, write C before the number. If there is an error in the subject-verb agreement, write the correct form of the verb. Okay, let's start. Number 1, the photographs and the yearbook are her work. Again, the photographs in the yearbook are her work. Okay, next one. The president with his cabinet is going to the luncheon meeting. The president with his cabinet is going to the luncheon meeting. All right, let's now proceed with the third question. Are you aware that the sale of the tickets have started? Are you aware that the sale of the tickets have started? All right. So for the next one, number 4, the decision of the director stand. The decision of the director stand. All right, number 5 and last, the child looks at the picture inside the room. The child looks at the picture inside the room. All right, so just keep that paper, and later I will ask you to take a picture of your answers and send it to me via messenger so that I can check if you whether you have perfect this evaluation or not. Okay, all right. Now to end the discussion, I want to give you an assignment. Don't worry, this assignment is easy. I am pretty sure that you will be able to do it properly. And yeah, here's the format. For the font style, please use Arial. And for the font size, please use the 12, or the font size is 12. For the spacing, we have here 1.5 line spacing. And take note that you can also submit a handwritten copy. Just make sure that you write legibly, okay? So if you're going to do it in a piece of paper, or if you're going to submit a handwritten copy, what I'm requiring you to do is take a picture of your output and send it to me via messenger so that I will be able to check it right away, okay? So for assignment number 1, this is compose a short poem following the subject and verb agreement rules, okay? Again, Compose a short poem following the subject-verb agreement rules. And for the second one, give 3 remaining rules and give examples for each remaining rules. Um, it says here, give the 3 remaining rules since we have discussed the 4 rules earlier, and I've mentioned that we have 7 rules. So I am requiring you to just search for the 3 remaining rules and then provide examples for each rule, okay? Okay, that's right. And take note of this. These are the 4 rules that I have discussed earlier. There is just a typographical error here in the number 1. It says singular subject takes singular verbs, plural subject takes plural verbs, and the second one is the verb agrees only with its subject. Words between subject and verb do not affect the number of the subject. And for the third one, the words some, all, and most are any or singular when they refer to quantity. On the other hand, they are plural when referred to quantity several times. And the last one, a compound subject, joy by end, takes a plural verb. When they refer to as one unit, it takes singular verb. So thank you so much for attending today's discussion. And if you have any inquiries, any questions about the topic discussed, you may contact me through this email, lap2135@dlsud.edu.ph, and my personal email, which is lingal.alex@gmail.com. And I would like to take credits on the slides go because the template that I use here is from their site, and that's right. That's everything. Shall we call it a day? Let's end our day with a prayer. Let us all remember that we are in the most holy presence of God. In the name of the Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit. I will continue, O my God, to do all my actions for the love of you. Saint John Baptist de La Salle, pray for us. Thank you so much, class, and I hope that you understand the lesson. And I also do hope that you will be able to do your assignments properly. Or if any question arises, just don't hesitate to contact me with the following details or following emails that I've provided. Thank you so much and have a wonderful day. God bless everyone.